Welcome to the Wealth Embodied podcast. I'm your host, Brianna Faringer, an attorney, spiritual guide, and wealth activator. I'm here to help you align your mindset for abundance and break through any glass ceilings with money. If you're ready to embrace your highest calling, manifest with more ease, and create a life that feels lighter and more aligned, then let's dive in. Hello. Welcome to the Wealth Embodied podcast. I'm your host, Brianna. I hope you are having an amazing day so far. So this podcast episode is going to talk about what I think is a myth in the world of money, and that is that people who have a lot of money don't worry about money. And this is something I see all of the time. I think this really comes up a lot, I think, in social media, and I actually think this came up a lot during the LA fires, and I'm not going to get into that, but it goes to this topic of like people that have money, like they don't have to worry about anything, right? So like there was all of this stuff going around where I think people thought that, oh, rich people's homes burning down is not a big deal, or like, oh, so what? Celebrities lost their houses, they can go buy another one. That may or may not be true, number one. But number two, just because people have money doesn't mean that they don't worry about it. And this is really important because I think something that a lot of people don't realize is that having money doesn't make you feel better about money a lot of the times. And this is maybe another way of saying money doesn't make people happy. And I think most people intellectually understand that when they hear it, but I don't know that people actually believe it. Because what I find in my work is that people are often consciously or unconsciously making money the goal because they do somewhere in their mind or in their body believe that money is going to make them feel better. And so they make that the goal, and then what happens is they get to that thing and they're still miserable. And this is something that I see a lot in my practice. I typically am working with high achieving, highly successful people who have made a lot of money over the years and continue to make a lot of money. And if you make money the goal, you're never going to be happy, number one. And number two, it forces people, I think, to get more clarity on what is actually going to make them happy. I also think it makes them realize that they do have to change the way they feel about money, their relationship with money, and how they feel about themselves, because it's those things that actually bring you joy and happiness. It's not the money. Money is just a tool. It's not the goal. And a lot of people are making it the goal, even though they don't realize it. And so I'm saying this because I see it a lot with people who are very highly successful. They will get the exact thing that they wanted to get by either taking a ton of action and working really hard to get there. And then they will come to me and they will say, I'm so upset because I'm still not happy. And that is such a horrible feeling to have when you get everything that you want and you're still not happy. And I know that because I've been through it myself. It's a hard place to be, and it can bring up a lot of feelings for people about being, feeling guilty that you're not happy with what you've gotten, or just a lot of things that come up. But I want to tell you what sparked this. I mean, I see this issue play out all the time, but I was listening to a podcast. It was probably a week or two ago. I don't actually know when the episode came out, but I was listening to a podcast. I'm not going to get into whose it was. That's not really important. It's just somebody that I like, and I find him to be entertaining. But he had a guest on. He has a lot of guests on that are from reality TV shows. He happened to have a Real Housewife on. Housewife. I don't pay attention to any of those shows, but he had a cast member on from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I don't even recall what the topic was that they were talking about, but this particular woman was talking about how she constantly worried about money, that it was constant. Like every time she paid a bill, she was worried. I mean, I was listening to her talk about this, and I was like, even though I know this, to hear other people who we as like I would perceive as being very financially wealthy to be talking openly about this. Number one, I'm surprised by it, and I commend her for doing that because I appreciate her honesty and willingness to talk about that, because I think the more that we do that, the more it helps other people move through issues that they're having, or maybe even, that might have resonated with a lot of people. It resonated with me because I'm like, wow, here's this woman who she probably has a lot of money. I don't know. But if she's on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, my assumption is she has a lot of money. I will say that after this episode aired, I looked up her net worth on the internet. I don't know whether it's correct or not. It may or may not be, but it says she has a net worth combined with her husband of $30 million. That's a lot of money. Could you imagine having $30 million and being constantly worried about money every single day? I couldn't, but I believe it's true. And the reason I know that is because it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you don't change the thoughts and beliefs you have about money, if you don't change the thoughts and beliefs you have about yourself, about experiences that you've had, about how the world works, about energy, all of those things, it doesn't matter how much money you have, you're not going to be happy. There are some things about it that might make you happy, like maybe this person has a house that she loves. Maybe she, doesn't actually need to worry about money because she may have so much that it's just not an issue. Maybe she's an irresponsible spender. I have no idea. I'm not going to take any positions on that. I don't know her at all. But I did find it really interesting just because $30 million is a lot of money. I mean, even if it was less than that, that's a lot of money. And to constantly be worried about it, I was like, oh, that sounds horrible. I do not have $30 million, but I will tell you, I don't worry about money that much. It still comes up. It's no matter how much mindset work you do, it's going to come up. It's going to rear its ugly head at some points in your life. I am just very good at acknowledging it and moving through it without letting myself stay there, and without it affecting how I feel and how I move through the world. And that's the thing I really want to focus on today is you can have money and it's not going to change how you feel about yourself. It may temporarily do that. It may change some things. It may help you change the way you feel about some things, but it's not going to heal all of the things if you don't do the work. And getting money is not the shortcut to healing things in your life. The shortcut to healing things in your life is doing the work. And another way of saying that is there's not really any shortcut. I know people, they want to move through things quickly and, just tell me all the steps I need to take. What do I need to do? Well, it's different for every person. Number one, we've all had different experiences. We are all different people. We have unique things that have happened in our lives. And the beliefs and thoughts that we have about money and the beliefs and thoughts that we have about ourselves that affect how we get money and how much we get and all of that are things that we all have to figure out how to move through. It's doing the work that gets you the things that you want in life. And I will tell you, if I haven't said this before, when I started to do the work of changing my relationship with money and all of the things that I really needed to shift to heal myself or start healing myself, I felt so much better in my body that was more valuable to me than any money. And that is still true today. And a lot of people don't understand that because they haven't actually had that feeling yet, because we all feel so badly in our bodies and have normalized it and don't realize it. And so if you haven't gone through the work of shifting your mindset that will then help you change the way that you feel in your body, if you haven't done any of that, the way that you feel today feels normal. Stress feels normal. Anxiety feels normal. Fear feels normal. Your body is so used to being in a constricted fight or flight state that we don't let ourselves believe that we can feel better, that there's actually a lighter way, a better way to move through life, that our bodies can actually feel better. When I did work around my money and started to really get rid of the anxiety and fears I had around it, I felt like bricks were being pulled out of my body. I felt so much lighter, and I still feel so much lighter. Again, that doesn't mean I don't have stress and anxiety. It just means that I feel very differently about it. And that's more valuable than money. Having joy is more valuable than money. Feeling good about yourself is more valuable than money. And it's not until you start to go through and do the work of looking at your beliefs and the fears and the worries and just addressing it head on that you can start to feel how different it feels in your body and how freeing it is to not be so held down by the fears and worries that people have around money. And so I really think that this is a topic worth exploring. And if you're listening to this, really thinking about, is money the goal? Because this is the thing, I have money goals. I do. I think everyone should have money goals. I'm not saying that, but money is not the goal in the long run. My goal is to be happy. And that is going to be a combination of a lot of things. And there is no amount of money that is going to do it if I don't do the work for myself. And so that's really, when I listened to that podcast, it really, I don't know, I felt compelled to really talk about it on here because I do think people always believe that people have money have better lives than they do. They think that people that have a lot of money don't worry about money. And this reminds me, there's another podcast I listen to. I really like the Dax Shepard podcasts. He's got several different ones, but one of them is Armchair Expert. That's probably the more well-known one. And then there's some other topics or different, I don't know. They have some other podcast titles that he's created sense with his co-host. But if you've ever listened to him, he talks often about how money is a very big stressor and anxiety causer in his life. He acknowledges it, he knows it, he doesn't know what to do about it. He talks about it a lot. Like I want to say, and I don't listen to every episode of his, by the way, I just listen to it when I have time and I do like it. But I've heard him say it probably 6 or 7 times at least, and I'm not a regular listener, so I suspect it's talked about a lot more than even I realize. But he probably has a lot of money too. I have no idea how much, but my guess is it's a lot. It's a lot more than I have. It's a lot more than most of you listening to this podcast have. He constantly worries about money. These things are going to continue to happen in your life if you don't address issues with money head on. And if there is not enough of an incentive for you to do that, that's fine. There will be maybe a point in your life where you are like, I can't deal with this anymore and I have to change it, because it's not a fun way to go through life. And I know it because I did it for 40 years, constantly worrying about money and not realizing that it could be different, or that it needed to be different. That's actually another thing that came up on the podcast I was talking about with that Real Housewife. She said something along the lines of, oh, it's just always been that way and it's always going to be that way. I can't change it. And I was like, no, you can change it. Because that's what I thought too. I thought it was just who I was. I'm like, this is just who I am. I'm a Brianna. I'm a worrier. And I was a self-proclaimed worrier about everything, but mostly about money. And if somebody had asked me during that time if I wanted to change it, I would have said no. I also would have said I didn't think that I could, because it was such a part of me. It felt like, oh, this is just who I was. I was born this way. This is what it is. Like, it's not going to be different. No, it's not. That's not true at all. That's nonsense. It can be different. You just have to make the decision to change it. Anything in your life can be different if you make the decision to change it. Now, that's maybe not exactly true with some things. There are some things that maybe you can't be changed, like, I don't know, a medical diagnosis. But I'm just, please don't take that as an all-encompassing statement. But I can think of very few things in your life that you can't change. Or people will have these beliefs of like, oh, I'm just not good at that thing. You're just not good at it because you haven't tried it or practiced at it. Like, I'm not good at softball, but I don't go play softball. I am very good at picking up athletic things, and I suspect that if I wanted to play softball, and I don't, by the way, but if I did, and I started to learn how to do it and practice, I would be good at it, or I would at least be decent. But no, I'm not good at softball because I don't practice it. I'm good at money mindset work because I practice it constantly, day to day in my life, because it's important to me. Everything is a skill. Changing the way that you feel about money is a skill. It's something that every single person can learn to do if they are willing to do it. And it's just a matter of getting to the point in your life where you realize it's costing you more than it is helping you. Worrying about money is costing you your mental health. Worrying about money is costing you your physical health. Worrying about money is preventing you from living all of the joys and living fully through the life experiences that you could be having. And if you don't recognize that there's a cost to it, there's often not going to be an incentive to change. That's where I was. It wasn't until I realized, oh, this is having a really significant effect on my physical health and my mental health. I'm going to change it. I'm going to start shifting it today because I no longer want to have this thing in my life. And the moment that I started to do that, I completely changed how I felt in my body. And there's just no amount of money that can compare with that. I know people think that money changes things. It can change things in your life. It doesn't change how you feel about yourself if you don't deal with your relationship with money head on. You're still going to be miserable even if you have more money. I'm sorry to tell people that. And again, I know people intellectually believe that that's true. I know from working with a lot of people that they don't actually realize it until they keep going through this thing over and over again of like, okay, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to get the amount of clients I want. I'm going to get the amount of money I want. And then everything's going to be great. And then they get to it and they come to me and they say, I'm not content. That's actually one of the words that I got recently. I am not content. That sucks. You worked so hard to build your business and get to the point exactly where you wanted to be. And now you're here and you're like, I hate this. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just feedback. That's just, in my opinion, the universe's way of showing us how to redirect so that we can do things differently to get clarity on what is going to bring happiness and joy in our lives. But I can assure you, it is not money. If you think it's money, it will be temporary. I think I've brought this up before. People who win the lottery end up losing all of the money because, number one, they don't know what to do with it, probably from a financial perspective, but they don't have mindsets that support them being able to hold on to it. That sucks. Could you imagine getting a ton of money, way more money than you could ever imagine having in your life, and then blowing it all or losing it all or doing who knows what? That's what happens to these people that win the lottery. It's terrible. It's because they don't know what to do with the money. And people will say, oh, well, they don't, maybe they don't have the financial wherewithal. They probably don't, but that's an action step. They also need to look at the mindset and say, how can I align my mindset with a person who is abundant and can hold on to money? And how can I take action to have people help me be able to hold on to this money, whether that's a financial planner, a financial advisor, or somebody to help them with retirement, people to help them figure out what to do with the money. But these are a lot of things that I think are worth really thinking about because there are probably tons of celebrities and wealthy people that you see every day in the news or on social media, and their lives are not great. I don't know whether they are or not, but I can just tell you from, many people that I know that have gotten a lot of success in their life, money is not going to make you feel better about yourself. It's just not. And so if you want to get the amount of money you want, start making the changes today to heal your relationship with money and heal your relationship with yourself, because those things are going to result in you getting far more abundance. And if you do it the other way around, if you start getting a bunch of money and financial success and you don't do the work of changing how you feel about money, you're still going to be unhappy. Or maybe there will be a temporary delay in that, but it's going to happen. And I know because I've been through it. I see it constantly. And, listening to those celebrities talk about that on those podcasts really highlighted this, that, gosh, you can have $30 million and worry about money every single day of your life. Don't let that be you. I hope we all have $30 million one day. I want everybody to be financially abundant. And I believe that we all can be if we choose to be. And that really starts with mindset. So just some things to think about, really thinking about what are the things that I really want in my life, what really makes me happy, and getting clarity on the things that bring you happiness in your life without it being a monetary goal. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. Bye. Hey, before you go, would you love to receive my 3-step masterclass to easily create and hold wealth for free? It's called Effortless Money, and it includes the exact framework to start attracting money effortlessly and manifesting abundance with more ease. If you want it for free, all you have to do is leave an honest review of the Wealth Embodied podcast, take a screenshot of this episode and put it in your Instagram stories and tag me at Brianna_Faringer, and we will send you the free Effortless Money Masterclass. This is how my clients have manifested a $13,000 check, a promotion resulting in a $30,000 salary increase, and significantly improved relationships. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time on the Wealth Embodied podcast.